I'm going to show you how to take a dinosaur and merge it with a man's head so that you have a DinoMan, and then to place him in a city scene with a cast shadow so it looks like he's terrorizing this small, or rather large in this case, city. So this is going to teach us a bunch of different tools in Photoshop. So the first thing I want to do is introduce you to the layout of Photoshop, show you where the tools are, show you how to open some things up, and then we'll start creating our picture. So the first thing I want you to know is that you have a toolbar on the left, you have a toolbar on the top, and you have a grouping of panels on the right. Now you'll notice on the left hand side that there is this little double arrow here. If you click that, it will stack your toolbars side by side. In class, I always ask you to stack it side by side because I'll count down and say 3 down on the right, 4 down on the left, and that helps me to quickly tell you what tool to go and grab and where it's located. While we're on the left-hand toolbar, I want you to notice these little triangles that appear underneath some of the tools. If you see a little triangle, if you click and hold on it, it will show you other tools that live there, so you can select other tools. So again, you're just looking for this little triangle, and when you click and hold on it, it will show you other tools. Also, on the right, we have panels. You can expand them and have them visible the whole time you're working, or you can minimize them. I typically have this expanded in the classroom because the monitors are so large, but I'm working from my laptop right now, so I'll probably be hiding and unhiding it as we go. Now, the default version of Photoshop does not open with the Navigator. So if you want to have the Navigator that lets you zoom in and out on your picture, you're going to come to the top toolbar, click on Window. You'll notice that everything is in alphabetical order, and you want to find Navigator, click on that, and then you'll have this guy. You can click on the words and hold with your mouse and move them around, so you can dock them and arrange them however you want to. And it's really student preference. I prefer to see the Navigator and then the layers, and then everything else is just secondary to me. Excuse me. Now, what I want you to notice is on the layers panel over here, I have labeled landscape, man, dino. To the left of each picture, you will see an eyeball. If you click on the eyeball, you can hide items. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click and hold with my mouse on landscape, and I'm going to move it underneath dino and man, because I want my landscape in the background. Now I want to transform and make this scale larger so I get rid of the white space. So that you can see what I'm doing, I'm going to hide the dino and the man layer. To do that, I'm going to click on the eyeball beside each one, and now they're hidden. They're still there, you can see them, but they're hidden. To expand the size of this, I'm going to use a toolbar shortcut for transform. So if you go Control T, it will put this box, this bounding box around your photo, and you see these little squares here. You can pick up on these and expand it. It will default expand it and keep it in proportion so you can see that no matter which square I grab, it's staying in proportion. If I want to make it disproportionate and just make it fill the screen, I hold down Shift, and by holding down Shift, I can alter the dimensions of the scale. It gets it out of proportion. Now, to get rid of this bounding box, I'm going to have to hit the Enter key on my keyboard. When I hit Enter, you see they disappeared. So now my landscape fills my page. So I've got that part done. Now I'm going to highlight my dinosaur layer and click on the eyeball to bring it back. On my left-hand toolbar, the very top left tool is a Move tool. I'm going to use that to move him up here in the middle so I can see all the white space. Now I'm going to use something called the magic wand to delete the white space. So on the left-hand toolbar, right-hand side, 2 tools down. Left-hand toolbar, right-hand side, 2 tools down. If I click and hold, I can get the magic wand tool. I'm going to take that magic wand tool, I'm going to come over here to the white, I'm going to click on it and let go once with my mouse. See how it put these little dancing ants around it? Let me zoom in for you. These little flickering black lines are known as dancing ants, and what they highlight I can then manipulate. So what I want to do is delete the white space. So on my keyboard I'm just going to hit the delete key, and I deleted the white space. I still have the dancing ants though, and if I don't get rid of them, they're going to cause problems. So to get rid of the dancing ants, I'm going to use shortcut on my keyboard, Control D for deselect, and you see all of my dancing ants went away. So now I have my landscape filling the background. I got rid of the white space around my dinosaur. Now I'm coming to my man layer. I'm going to highlight the man. I'm going to click on the eyeball. This is such a great picture. He looks so freaked out. I am not going to worry about deleting the white space because all I'm concerned about is copying his head. If you look at this example, you can see all I have left from that photo is his head. So that's all I need to worry about highlighting. So I'm going to show you another tool, and that is the lasso tool. Left-hand toolbar, second tool down on the left. If you click and hold, you have a lasso tool, a polygonal lasso tool, and a magnetic lasso tool. I'm going to show you what each one does. So I'm going to start with the regular lasso tool. This tool expects you to have a steady hand. I'm going to click and hold right here with my mouse. See that line that's appearing? This is just me trying to go around and trace his head. Oh, see there? I clicked because I heard someone outside in the hallway and it cut right across his head. So if I have to start over, I'm going to go Control D. Remember that D selects, gets rid of my dancing ants. Now I can click and hold and try again. So you can see I just took off part of his cheek. Oh, I did it again. So it's really hard It was really hard for me to talk while doing that. That was my problem. But you can see I didn't crop his head as closely as I would like to because that's all based on how steady my hand is. So I'm going to Control D, deselect that. I'm going to come over here, click and hold on my lasso tool and get the polygonal. Polygonal means straight. So if I click over here and let go, see this string that's attached to my cursor? It's going to stay there until I meet it from the other side. So I am just clicking and letting go with my mouse. And you can see it's not doing a great job. It's better than the last one I did because I can better control the movements of the mouse. But he is all curves and the polygonal is all angles. So I clicked back where I started and the dancing ants appeared. So that's better. This is an improvement, but I can take it one step better. So I'm going to Control D, deselect, and now I'm going to click and hold and get the magnetic lasso. Now I'm going to click and let go here. This is a magnet, so it is following where my mouse goes. And it does a pretty bang up job of going right where I want it to. Now, see right there where it hopped down to that finger? I don't want that to happen. So I can actually click while I'm doing this with my mouse and help guide it around these troubled areas. Now let's say I get outside the lines. I bring my cursor back to where I want it and I hit the backspace key on my keyboard until it brings me back to where I want the magnet to start hugging my form again, and then I continue on with my line. When I get back to where I started, I'm going to click on that point and let go, and now I have my dancing ants. So last time when we used our magic wand, we clicked on the white space, we hit the delete key, and it went away. But I want to keep this selection. I don't want to get rid of him. I want to get rid of the inverse, what's outside of him, the suit and the white space. So from the top toolbar, I'm going to select the select word. So top toolbar, select, and I'm going to select inverse. When I click on this, notice the dancing ants have now gone to the outside area, and his head is still highlighted. If I hit the delete key now, I get rid of everything except his head. To get rid of the dancing ants, I go Control D. Now, what I want to do is I want to take the top left move tool. I want to move my dinosaur in position. And then I want to grab this guy's head and position him so he hides the dinosaur's face, but I can still see the dino neck. Now, I want to make it look like he's looking a little bit further up towards the sky, like maybe a helicopter is trying to come and wrangle him down or something. So I'm going to go Control T to transform. Notice my cursor is a black arrow here. It goes to a straight line here. See what happened right there? It became a curve. So I'm going to move my cursor out until I get a curve, and then I'm going to start to spin his head and angle it so he's looking towards that sky. So if I click on his head with the transform selection, I can move him. I can right click and rotate him. I can right click on side of here. I can pick warp. This is a really fun option. I can expand the angle of his head. I can make him look even more sinister or freaked out based on how I arrange. So you click on the photo itself, but you can also click on the lines and move them in and out. You can also right click, change the scale. Maybe you want him smaller or bigger. Just depends on what mood you're going for. But when you're happy with the selection, you just hit enter and apply it. Now, I'm going to stop the video here because I have a limited amount of time for this application that I'm using to record my actions. So I'm going to stop here and I'm going to save this and then make a second DinoMan video tomorrow. So I'm going to go File, Save As, Save on your computer. I'm just going to come to my desktop if I can find it here. And I'm going to call it DinoMan 1. I'm going to save it. This dialog box is going to appear and I'm going to say OK. Now it's saved and I will give you the remaining steps tomorrow. Thanks guys!